The first thing Noah felt was the heavy cold of metal against his skin. His eyes opened slowly and the dim light of the cargo hold came into focus. He tried to move his arms, but ropes cut into his wrists. His legs were tied too, and his chest ached from the way he had been dragged across the floor. He listened. The ship hummed with a steady rhythm, the kind he knew from his years in broken colonies and salvage yards. It was the hum of engines pushing through quiet space. The smell was strong, like oil and burned wires. He coughed and pulled against the ropes, but they held tight. Noah remembered only fragments, running across the ruins of the settlement. The sound of shouting behind him, a shadow from the sky, then nothing. Now he was here in the belly of a ship he did not know. A door slid open. Bright light cut into the hold and footsteps echoed. Out of the light stepped a tall figure covered in armor plates made from dark metal. The figure moved with calm control, and Noah felt the weight of danger before he even saw her face. She removed her helmet and long dark hair spilled free. Her skin had a faint silver tone, and her sharp eyes studied him like a predator sizing up its catch. She spoke with a voice that was steady and cold. "I would get a reward if I killed you." Noah stared at her. His heart beat hard in his chest, but he forced his voice to stay even. "Then why am I still alive?" The alien woman tilted her head as if curious about his question. She walked closer, the sound of her boots tapping on the floor. She crouched down so her eyes were level with his. There was no warmth in them, only sharp calculation. "You are human," she said, "and the reward for killing a human scout is very high. But I am not going to kill you yet. I have an offer." Her words made little sense to Noah, but he kept listening. She leaned closer, her eyes never leaving his face. "There is a locked archive on a moon near this sector. It holds a device that many want. The factions fight over it, but none can reach it. I have the skill to find the path, but I do not have what the lock demands. The lock is human. It requires hands that can work with pressure and instinct. It requires someone who does not think like a machine. That is why I need you." Noah blinked in disbelief. "So you tie me up, tell me you could kill me, and then ask for my help?" Her mouth curved in the faintest smile. "Yes, because humans are strange. You do things no one else dares. You survive when logic says you should not. I have seen the patterns. You can enter the archive when no one else can." Noah shifted against the ropes. His mind raced. If she wanted him dead, she could have ended it already. If she wanted him alive, it meant she truly needed him. But that did not make her trustworthy. "What do I get if I help you?" Noah asked. "Your freedom," she said at once. "I will cut your bonds. You will live. You may even keep part of the prize if we succeed." Her tone was calm, but Noah sensed the steel behind it. He could not fight her. He had no weapon, no allies, no chance. His only path was to listen and watch. "Fine," he said at last. "I'll help, but not tied like this." The alien woman pulled a blade from her belt. Its edge glowed faint blue, and with a single swipe she cut the ropes at his wrists and ankles. The ropes fell away and Noah rubbed his sore arms. He did not leap at her or try to run. He knew better. She was faster, stronger, and watching him closely. "What is your name?" he asked. "Mira," she replied simply. "Noah," he said. She nodded once. Now we traveled together. Mira stood and motioned for him to follow. He rose on unsteady legs and stepped into the hall beyond the cargo hold. The ship was small but sleek, its walls lined with tools and weapons. Every corner spoke of a hunter's life, built for pursuit and survival. Noah walked behind her, his eyes taking in every detail. In the control room, she pointed at the star map glowing above the console. "Here is the archive," she said, marking a small moon surrounded by debris fields. "The path is dangerous. Patrols watch for hunters and smugglers. But my cutter is built for stealth. We will slip through." Noah crossed his arms. "Why me, really? You could hire another human." Mira's eyes flashed. "You are not just any human. The factions placed a reward on your head. That means you carry something valuable. They want you dead before you can use it. I do not know what it is yet, but I will find out." Her words made his stomach twist. He had no idea why anyone would want him dead. He had lived most of his life in broken colonies, fixing machines, scavenging parts, helping people survive storms and shortages. He was no soldier, no spy, just a survivor still. Something in her eyes told him she believed her own words. "I'm no one special," he said. "Then you will not mind proving it," Mira replied. She sat at the pilot's chair and powered the engines. The ship lifted free of its dock and the stars stretched across the wide screen before them. Noah sank into the co-pilot seat, his hands resting on his knees. The ropes had left raw marks on his skin, but the fire in his chest burned brighter than the pain. Mira flew with steady hands, guiding the cutter into the black sea of space. Silence filled the cabin except for the hum of the engines. Noah stared at the stars and thought about the strange turn his life had taken. Hours ago, he had been running for his life across rubble and ash. Now he sat beside a hunter who could kill him at any moment, traveling toward a moon that hid secrets powerful enough to start wars. The ship passed through an asteroid belt, weaving between giant rocks. Noah leaned forward. "You fly like you've done this 1,000 times." "I have," she said without pride. "A hunter survives by knowing the path. You will learn to trust my skill." "And I am supposed to trust you?" Noah asked. "You already do," she said calmly. "If you did not, you would have tried to escape the moment I cut your ropes." Noah had no reply. She was right in a way. He had chosen to follow because the other choice was death. Trust did not mean faith, but it did mean survival. As they cleared the belt, Noah turned to her. "If this archive is so important, why has no one else reached it?" Mira tapped the map again. "Because the lock is not like others. Machines fail. Codes fail. Only human instinct can open it. The builders feared machines and aliens alike. They trusted your kind, though many call that foolish." Her words stirred something in Noah. He had grown used to hearing that humans were weak, reckless, unstable, but here was a hunter saying humans were needed even if she said it like a curse. He looked out at the stars again. Somewhere ahead lay a moon with a secret that others were ready to kill him for. Somewhere ahead lay answers, and beside him sat an alien hunter who had promised him freedom but carried blades at her side. The path was set. The ship moved on, silent and steady through the dark. Noah did not know if he would live to see the end of the journey, but he knew one thing with certainty. This was only the beginning. Noah leaned back in the co-pilot seat, feeling the steady hum of the cutter as it glided through the endless dark of space. Stars sparkled like tiny fires in the black, and he watched them in silence. Mira sat at the helm, hands steady, eyes scanning every instrument, every blip on the screen. The silence between them was not uncomfortable. It was careful. Both knew words could reveal weakness, and neither wanted to show any. Yet as hours passed, Noah noticed small details. The way Mira adjusted the engines for smooth navigation, the quiet hum of her breathing, the way she handled the minor alarms without panic. This was a hunter who had survived countless dangers. He had no choice but to respect her skill. The first challenge came sooner than expected. A patrol ship appeared on the scanner, moving directly in their path. Its hull was sleek, its weapons deadly. Mira's eyes narrowed. "They look for hunters and humans. They know someone is coming," Noah swallowed. "And they will attack us?" "They will if they see us," she said calmly. "We do not give them that chance." Mira reached for the control panel and activated the cutter's stealth systems. Panels glowed briefly, then dimmed, and the ship's hum softened. On the screen, their outline began to blend into the darkness. "We slip through. You watch the sensors. Any sign of detection, you tell me immediately." Noah nodded. He had never worked on a ship like this, but he had learned quick tricks from the ruined settlements he grew up in. Eyes sharp, hands steady, he watched the blinking lights. He saw the patrol scanning patterns, saw the beams of detection sweep across empty space. His heart beat fast, but his mind stayed calm. "Now," Mira whispered. The cutter glided between the patrol beams, moving slowly, steadily, like a shadow. Every second felt stretched, each breath measured. The patrol passed by without noticing. Noah let out a quiet sigh of relief. Mira glanced at him. "Good," she said. "You notice what I could miss. That is why you are valuable." Noah nodded. Compliments from Mira were rare, and he did not need to ask if it was genuine. Her eyes did not lie. Hours passed. They traveled through zones of debris, abandoned stations, and fields of floating rock. Each area was dangerous in its own way. A careless pilot could be crushed by a drifting asteroid or trapped in a collapsing station. Mira navigated it all with precise control. Noah began to learn the rhythm of her movements, the logic behind her choices. It was not fear that drove her, but calculation. During a break in the patrol zones, Mira finally spoke. "Tell me about yourself," she said without turning. Noah hesitated. He had been asked questions like this before. Most people wanted to know weaknesses, to judge if he was worth using. He decided to give her truth, but not too much. I grew up in a colony on Terran. It was small, nearly forgotten by the government. I helped with machines, learned to fix what others thought broken, survived storms and raids. Not much else, Mira nodded. Humans from colonies are often underestimated. You think survival is simple, but you carry skills others ignore. Noah smirked faintly. Some of us survive because we have to, not because we are clever. Sometimes the difference is subtle, Mira said. The world notices only the clever. The compliment made Noah shift uncomfortably, but he did not argue. Instead, he asked her about the archive. Why is it so important? And why do so many want it? Mira's expression grew serious.
The archive holds a device.
It can control the flow of entire colonies. Whoever has it can force systems to obey, can start wars or prevent them. Many factions want control, but none can reach it because the locks are human-specific. Noah frowned. So they want me dead because of what I am? Yes, she said simply. You carry something they fear. Perhaps your blood, your instincts, or your survival skill. I do not know. That is why I need you. He swallowed hard. And if I fail? Then the factions will take it, she said. And countless lives will be in danger. The weight of her words pressed on him. He had never wanted to be a hero, never wanted to face wars or devices that could kill thousands. But now, by mere chance, he was in the middle of it. As they approached the asteroid belt surrounding the target moon, another challenge appeared. A massive wreck floated in space, half buried in debris. Mira's sensors detected movement inside. Scavengers, she said. They will try to board us if we get too close. Noah leaned forward. What do we do? Follow my lead, she said. Mira shifted the engines, sending the cutter into the shadows of the larger rocks. We move slowly, make no sound. They may see movement but cannot track us if we stay in cover. Noah's heart raced. He had evaded dangers before, but not in deep space. Not against hunters who could pierce hulls with weapons in seconds. He focused on the rhythm of the ship, the flow of shadows. It became almost like a dance. They moved, paused, waited. Every motion counted, hours passed. The scavengers never spotted them. When they cleared the field, Mira allowed herself a small sigh. Good, you follow instructions well. I am impressed. Noah laughed softly, a sound he had not made in weeks. I guess I am learning from the master. Mira tilted her head. Perhaps, but you also think in ways I do not. That is why I need you. Later, as the cutter approached a derelict space station, Mira slowed the ship. We hide here for a while, she said. We cannot risk detection near the moon yet. This station is abandoned but not safe. Watch your step. Noah stepped onto the station carefully. Metal groaned beneath his boots. Rust and dust coated every surface. Broken screens blinked faintly. He could smell the stale air, metallic and dry. Mira moved ahead of him, scanning the shadows, her weapon ready. As they moved through the narrow corridors, Noah noticed a weak grate above them. He pointed it out. Vent network, he said. Could be a shortcut or escape if we are trapped. Mira looked at him. Good eye. Humans notice things machines do not. That is what may save our lives later. They explored deeper. Noah saw remnants of lives once lived here. Small tools, containers, messages etched into walls. He wondered about the people who had built and maintained this place. Mira did not speak much about it. She preferred efficiency over sentiment. That night, they set up a small camp in one of the larger rooms. Mira worked on her weapons and tools while Noah inspected the ship's systems remotely, checking for any alerts or signals. They shared a simple meal of rations. The quiet companionship surprised them both. You sleep well? Mira asked. No, Noah admitted. Too many things to think about. You will need strength, she said. Tomorrow we get closer to the moon. You will see how dangerous it really is. Noah nodded, staring at the faint light of the stars visible through a cracked window. He felt fear, yes, but also a strange thrill. He was alive. He had survived the trap of the hunter. And now he was moving toward something that could change everything. Mira glanced at him. She had been a hunter for decades, seeing countless lives end in pursuit or failure. Yet something about Noah made her pause. Humans were unpredictable, stubborn, clever, and alive in ways machines and alien minds often could not comprehend. She had thought he was just a target. Now she realized he might be the key to something far greater than herself. Hours passed in quiet vigilance. Noah watched Mira at work, adjusting engines, checking the hull, always alert. He realized he was learning not just about survival, but about precision, patience, and observation. He understood the life of a hunter in a way he never had before. As the night passed in the cold station, the first signs of danger appeared on the sensors. Faint blips moving in patterns indicating patrols near the moon. Mira's eyes narrowed. Tomorrow will test both of us. You will need to move faster, think clearer, and trust instincts you did not know you had. Noah clenched his fists, feeling a surge of resolve. Fear was there, but it was tempered by determination. He would survive. He would help Mira, and he would prove that humans, even when underestimated, could rise to meet impossible odds. As dawn approached, the stars outside the station began to fade with the light of the nearby system. Noah felt the quiet thrill of the coming journey. They were leaving safety, heading toward the moon and the archive. Every moment from now would demand courage, skill, and a willingness to face danger that most beings would flee. Noah looked at Mira one last time before sleep overtook him. He saw not just a hunter, but a partner in the strange, dangerous path ahead, and he felt for the first time that he might not only survive, he might thrive. The cutter waited silently in the docking bay. Beyond lay the dark expanse full of patrols, debris, and the secrets of the moon. Noah's journey with Mira had only just begun, and in the quiet, the stars seemed to whisper possibilities, challenges, and the promise of human courage tested in a galaxy that had yet to understand it fully. Noah and Mira approached the moon cautiously. The landscape below was jagged and gray, scattered with craters and remnants of old colonies. Dust and rock shifted with weak gravity, and the shadows of mountains stretched across the surface like dark fingers. Mira guided the cutter carefully, landing it near the edge of a deep crater. From here they could see the faint outline of the archive, hidden under layers of rock and reinforced metal. The archive is older than most colonies, Mira said, her voice calm as she scanned the horizon. It was built to protect something that could change the balance of power across the galaxy. The builders did not trust machines or aliens to reach it. Only humans can, Noah's brow furrowed. And that's why they want me dead. Because I'm human? Yes, Mira said simply. Your kind is underestimated, often ignored, but underestimated is different from powerless. Humans have intuition and adaptability machines cannot match. Noah nodded, feeling the weight of her words. He had lived on colonies where every day was about survival. He had climbed broken walls, repaired collapsing structures, and outsmarted raiders. He had never thought of it as something special. But here, the galaxy's fate depended on those same skills. They moved toward the archive on foot, the low gravity making each step feel slow and heavy. Mira led, her long strides covering ground quickly, her weapon ready. Noah followed, hands close to his belt, watching every shadow. The air was thin but breathable, recycled from the cutter's systems. Every sound seemed amplified in the silence, from the crunch of rocks underfoot to the faint hum of hidden machinery. When they reached the entrance, Noah stopped. A massive door stood before them, its surface covered with symbols he did not recognize. Lights flickered along the edges, forming patterns that shifted as if alive. The lock was not mechanical in the way he expected. It pulsed with a faint blue energy, and a sensor scanned his face, then his hands. Mira crouched beside him. This is the challenge. I can guide you, but the lock will respond only to human touch and decision. It tests instinct, not strength. Noah examined the patterns. He touched the surface lightly, feeling the hum beneath his fingers. His mind wandered to his childhood, to a lesson his father had taught him about doors and locks in the old settlement. When storms came, doors would swell or jam, and humans would find ways to reset them by touch, by observation, by patience. He realized the same principle applied here. The lock required observation, patience, and subtle action. He closed his eyes and let his instincts take over. Each motion of his fingers, each press, each rotation, followed patterns he could not explain logically. Mira watched in silence, her weapon lowered slightly, sensing the human intuition at work. Minutes passed. The lock pulsed, scanned, and then the door clicked. A low hum filled the chamber as it slid open, revealing the interior. Noah exhaled, a mix of relief and satisfaction. Mira's eyes glinted. Well done. I knew you could do it. Inside, the archive was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers. Lights glowed softly, illuminating strange artifacts, control panels, and devices that Noah could not identify. The air smelled faintly metallic, like a shipyard. Every step they took echoed against the walls, yet somehow, The sensors did not alert the hidden defenses. Mira guided him carefully. "The device is here," she said, "but it is protected. There's a watch AI that monitors loyalty and trust, not strength. It knows who can access the controls. If it senses deceit or hesitation, it will activate defenses." Noah frowned. "So it watches intentions more than actions?" "Yes, that is why your instinct is valuable. You think differently than machines or aliens. You can convince it that you are trusted." They reached a central chamber. At the center floated the device suspended by invisible energy fields. It glowed faintly, humming with power. Symbols danced across its surface. Noah felt a pull in his chest, a mixture of awe and fear. The device could control colonies, could start wars, could destroy lives if used incorrectly. Mira turned to him. "We must disable it. The factions want it active, but it is too dangerous. We can make it harmless, but it will require careful planning." Noah nodded. He stepped closer, feeling the hum of the energy fields. His instincts guided him as he studied the device. He touched the panels lightly, feeling vibrations that indicated functions and locks. Each motion was deliberate, precise. Mira adjusted the energy shields, timing them with his movements. As he worked, a message appeared on a nearby console. Words scrolled rapidly, revealing the truth about the factions. The reward for killing Noah had been a trap. They feared his blood carried a rare antibody that could neutralize the device's failsafes. They wanted him dead before he could interfere. The hunter and the hunted were now in a position to decide the fate of the galaxy. Noah's hands moved faster, guided by instinct and knowledge of patterns. Mira covered him, watching the sensors and scanning the corridors for patrols or intruders. Every sound mattered, every motion could trigger alarms. The device hummed louder as if aware of their intent. Minutes felt like hours. Noah pressed panels in a rhythm he could not explain, rotated handles and switches with subtle pressure, and finally, the energy fields dimmed. The device slowed its pulse and the glowing symbols faded. The watch AI scanned him one last time, then powered down its defensive protocols. Mira let out a quiet breath. It worked. "You tricked it. Your instincts convinced it that you were trusted. Most humans would fail." Noah stepped back, exhausted. His heart raced, but he felt a strange pride. For the first time, he realized that survival, intuition, and human adaptability were not just skills. They were power. The chamber fell silent. Only the hum of the deactivated device remained. Noah and Mira exchanged a glance. Both knew that their actions had changed more than just the archive. They had shifted the balance of power in the galaxy, even if the factions did not yet understand it. Mira moved closer to the device. "Now we make it harmless. We loop its system so no faction can use it, and no lives will be in danger." Noah nodded. He studied the control panel again. Using parts from the abandoned station, he created an improvised circuit. Each connection had to be precise. One mistake and the device could react violently. Mira adjusted the shields to maintain safety while he worked. The tension was unbearable. Every beep of the system, every flicker of light, sent waves of anticipation through both of them. Finally, Noah completed the loop. The device's hum stabilized, then became steady, harmless. The power that could control colonies was now neutralized. Mira lowered her weapon and smiled faintly. "You are remarkable, Noah. I underestimated humans." "Not anymore." Noah allowed himself a small smile. "I just followed instinct. You guided me. We did it together." They did not linger. The factions would soon discover the archive had been accessed, and they needed to leave before reinforcements arrived. Mira led the way back through the corridors, every step careful and precise. Noah followed, alert to shadows, debris, and sensors. As they exited the archive, Noah looked back at the massive structure. He realized that humanity, though often overlooked, had played a role no alien or machine could replicate. Intuition, courage, and quick thinking were his tools, and now they had saved countless lives by using them. The return to the cutter was tense. Sensors indicated patrols approaching, and debris fields threatened navigation. Mira guided them carefully, but this time Noah actively assisted. He noticed patterns in asteroid movement and suggested adjustments to the flight path. Mira followed his advice, and they slipped through the dangers with skill and precision. Once they cleared the immediate threats, Mira finally spoke. "You have proven something important. Humans are more than what others expect. They are unpredictable, clever, and capable. You are proof of that." Noah felt a mix of pride and relief. He had survived the trap, navigated the archive, and neutralized the device. The weight of responsibility had been immense, but he had met it. As they moved into deeper space, Mira looked at him with a rare expression of respect. The journey is not over. Other challenges await, but I trust now that you can handle them. Noah nodded. I'll do my best. I don't have much choice anyway. She allowed herself a small laugh, almost human in sound. No, you do not. But your best is more than enough. That is what makes humans so dangerous to those who underestimate them. Noah watched the stars stretch past the cutter's viewports. Ahead lay new dangers, new decisions, and new opportunities. The device had been neutralized, but the galaxy was far from safe. Yet for the first time, he felt that he had a role that mattered. He was not just surviving anymore. He was shaping outcomes. Mira piloted the cutter through the dark, and Noah realized something profound. Humans were underestimated, yes, but underestimated did not mean powerless. Every instinct, every small decision, every act of courage could ripple outward and change events far beyond what anyone expected. As they moved toward the next challenge, Noah felt a growing confidence. He had survived impossible odds before. Now, with Mira as an ally and his own instincts guiding him, he was ready for whatever came next. And in the quiet of space, the stars seemed to recognize his presence, not as a pawn but as a force to be reckoned with. Noah and Mira drifted through space, leaving the moon and the deactivated archive behind. The cutter moved smoothly, but tension filled the cabin. Both of them knew that neutralizing the device was only the first step. The factions who had hunted Noah would not give up so easily. They would soon discover the archive's security had been breached, and their response could be swift and deadly. Mira turned from the helm, her eyes scanning Noah carefully. We cannot go back, she said. The factions will trace our path if we linger. We need to decide our next move. Noah leaned back, rubbing the ache in his hands from handling the device. The factions want it active. We made it harmless. But what now? Do we destroy it completely or take it somewhere safe? Mira's expression was serious. Destroying it is safest. Taking it somewhere else is dangerous. Every step you carry it, someone could try to take it from you. But destroying it requires skill. One mistake and it could react violently. We have to weigh the risks. Noah considered this. We neutralized it once. Maybe we can use the same method to make it harmless forever. Yes, Mira said, but the factions will anticipate us. They may send hunters who know the archive's protocols. We will have only one chance to act, and it must succeed. I cannot do this alone. Noah nodded. He had come far from running through ruined settlements. He had faced machines and traps, relied on instincts, and survived situations that should have ended him. Now he had to make decisions not just for his life, but for the lives of countless others. The first problem arose quickly. Sensors indicated approaching ships, their hulls glinting in the distant light of the system's sun. They were patrols, likely sent by the factions who had placed the reward on Noah's head. Mira's eyes narrowed. They know we accessed the archive. They will come for us. Noah clenched his fists. So what do we do? Fight them? Hide? Mira shook her head. We cannot fight them head-on. They outgun us. We must use cunning, speed, and human unpredictability. You understand what that means better than most. The cutter twisted and turned through an asteroid field, moving silently. Noah watched the incoming ships, calculating paths and predicting movements. If we lead them into the field, we can use the rocks as cover, he said. They will have difficulty maneuvering. We can slip past them. Mira glanced at him, a flicker of surprise in her eyes. A human solution, she said quietly. I like it, Noah smiled faintly. Sometimes the simplest path is the one others do not see. Together, they guided the cutter into the dense asteroid field. The patrol ships followed, moving fast but carefully. Every collision could destroy one of them. Noah's eyes darted to every moving rock, every shadow. He directed Mira with precise instructions, calling out dangers, suggesting adjustments to speed and angle. Hours passed in tense silence, the hum of the engines the only sound in the cabin. Every decision mattered. One mistake could end their lives. Yet step by step they slipped past the patrols, using the asteroids as shields and channels. Eventually, the patrols lost sight of them and moved away, their sensors fooled by the clever navigation. Mira exhaled, her usual calm returning. Well done, she said. Your instincts saved us. You were right about the unpredictability. That is what makes humans dangerous to those who underestimate them. Noah leaned back in his seat, exhausted but exhilarated. We're not safe yet, he said. We still need to finalize what to do with the device. Mira nodded. We must neutralize it completely. To do this, we will need to return to a station nearby. It is abandoned, but has power systems we can use. We must act quickly, and I need you to trust me completely. Noah studied her. Trust had been a fragile thing between them, but over the past days it had grown. He had seen her skill, her patience, and her precision. He knew she would act to protect him as much as the mission. I trust you, he said. They landed the cutter at the station. Dust and silence greeted them, but Noah's instincts told him that every corner could hide danger. Mira led the way to a large chamber, where control panels and old machinery hummed faintly. The device sat on a raised platform, still inert but humming with potential energy. Noah examined it. We have one chance to do this right, he said. If we miscalculate, it could react violently. Mira nodded. We divide tasks. You handle the circuits in the energy loop. I will maintain shields and monitor sensors. Timing and precision are everything. If we work together, we can succeed. Noah's fingers worked quickly, adjusting circuits and rerouting power. The old station had parts and tools they could use, but every connection required careful thought. Mira moved silently, observing and covering him, ready to intervene at a moment's notice. Hours passed as they worked. The device's hum grew louder as the systems responded to their adjustments. Every movement mattered. Noah's heart pounded, but his mind stayed sharp. He thought like a human, using intuition, improvisation, and knowledge from a lifetime of survival. Finally, Noah completed the last connection. He held his breath as the device powered down completely, its energy fields dissipating. The hum became steady, calm, and harmless. They had succeeded. Mira lowered her weapon, her eyes softening slightly. You are remarkable, she said. I underestimated humans. Not anymore. Noah allowed himself a small smile. I just followed instinct. We did it together. They did not linger. The factions would soon learn the archive had been accessed, and they needed to leave before reinforcements arrived. Mira led the way back through the corridors. Every step careful, Noah followed, alert to shadows, debris, and sensors. As they exited the station, Noah looked back at the massive structure. He realized that humanity, though often overlooked, had played a role no alien or machine could replicate. Instinct, courage, and quick thinking had saved countless lives. Outside, the cutter waited silently. Mira guided it through the asteroid fields once more, but this time Noah actively assisted, noticing patterns and suggesting precise maneuvers. Together, they slipped through the dangers, stronger and more confident than before. Once they cleared the immediate threats, Mira spoke. You have proven something important. Humans are underestimated, yes, but underestimated does not mean powerless. Your instincts, courage, and adaptability are strengths. Noah nodded. I've learned that. I've seen what humans can do even when no one else believes in us. Mira studied him. The journey is not over. Other challenges await, but I trust you can handle them. That is why I chose to spare your life and work with you. You are more than a survivor. You are a force. Noah felt a quiet pride. He had faced impossible odds, outsmarted machines and traps, and helped neutralize a device that could have caused chaos. He was no longer just running for survival. He was shaping events, making choices that mattered. As they moved into deeper space, Mira glanced at him, a rare expression of respect on her face. You have changed my view of humans, she said. Your courage, intelligence, and care are not weaknesses. They are tools that can bend machines, strategies, and even hardened hearts. Noah watched the stars stretch past the cutter's viewports. Ahead lay new dangers, new decisions, and new opportunities. He realized he was not just surviving anymore. He was thriving. Humans, underestimated by the galaxy, had power that others did not recognize. Mira's voice broke the silence. We must decide our next move. The factions will not stop, and others may try to claim the archive. We can fight, hide, or continue to protect it. The choice is ours, Noah thought carefully. Fear was present, but it was tempered by determination. He would act, not just react. He would make choices that mattered. He would prove that humans, though underestimated, could shape outcomes with courage, intelligence, and instinct. He looked at Mira. We protect it. We make it harmless. We do not let anyone misuse it. That is the choice that matters, Mira nodded. Agreed, and we act now. The longer we wait, the greater the risk. We must move as one, with precision and trust. Together, they prepared the cutter for departure. The device was neutralized. The archive left safe for now, but their journey was far from over. Patrols would come, factions would hunt them, and new dangers awaited. Yet Noah felt ready. With Mira as an ally and his instincts guiding him, he could face whatever challenges lay ahead. The stars stretched endlessly before them, silent witnesses to the courage, intelligence, and determination of a human who had survived against impossible odds. Noah understood something now. The galaxy underestimated humans, but underestimated did not mean powerless. It meant opportunity, and in that opportunity he would stand tall. Noah and Mira flew through the silent expanse of space, leaving the neutralized archive behind. The cutter moved smoothly, gliding past stars and asteroid fields. Yet the calm was deceptive. Both knew that the factions would not wait long before they discovered what had happened. Their victory was temporary. Danger was still very real, and their choices would shape the future. Mira checked the sensors repeatedly. "There are patrols searching nearby," she said. "They know someone accessed the archive. They will come for us." Noah leaned forward, studying the readings. "We cannot fight them directly, not yet. We have to stay clever, stay unpredictable." Mira nodded. "You have learned well. That is why I brought you along. The factions see humans as weak, careless, and reckless. They do not understand your instincts, your intuition. That is our advantage." Noah thought about the journey so far. From being tied in the cargo hold to navigating the asteroid fields and neutralizing the archive's device, he had relied on instincts, observation, and human creativity. Each step had been dangerous, but he had survived. And now he realized that humans were powerful because they were unpredictable. "Where do we go next?" he asked. "We hide for a while," Mira said. "There is a colony near the edge of this sector, abandoned mostly, but with facilities we can use. We need to regroup and plan our next move. The factions will send more hunters soon." The cutter moved toward the colony. As they approached, Noah saw the ruins of once thriving structures. Broken walls, collapsed towers, and silent streets stretched for miles. It was a reminder of how fragile life could be, how civilizations could rise and fall. Mira landed the cutter in a small courtyard, hidden by crumbling buildings. "We stay here for a few days," she said. "No one will expect us. We repair the ship, analyze the device, and plan." Noah stepped out carefully. The low gravity made each step feel light and slow. Dust rose with every movement. He examined the area, noting vantage points and potential threats. Mira watched him with quiet approval. He moved like someone who had survived countless dangers. Yet now his awareness extended beyond himself. He thought about the mission, the device, and the people who could be affected by it. Inside the cutter, they began their work. Noah checked the systems, repairing minor damages and improving efficiency. Mira adjusted her weapons and sensors, preparing for any attack. Together, they moved with precision, each understanding the other's role. As night fell on the colony, they sat quietly. Noah looked at the stars, thinking about what they had accomplished. "We neutralized the device," he said. "We saved lives. But it feels like just the beginning." Mira nodded. "It is. The factions will regroup. They will send more hunters, more spies, and others may try to claim the archive, thinking it is still active. Our work is not done," Noah understood. The galaxy was full of factions and powers, each trying to control others. But humans, though underestimated, had a way of surviving and influencing events. That was their strength. The next morning, Mira led him to a hidden communications array. "We need to send a message," she said. "Not to announce ourselves, but to warn those who might be in danger. Others should know that the archive is neutralized and no one should try to misuse it." Noah hesitated. He had never communicated with entire colonies before. Yet he knew it was necessary. Using the array, he transmitted a careful signal, encoded to reach only trusted recipients. Within minutes, replies came. Some were cautious, some thankful, and some skeptical. But the message had spread, and the device was no longer a secret for those who could protect it. Mira studied the incoming responses. "You see, humans do not only survive. You communicate, adapt, and protect. That is why you are dangerous in ways others cannot measure." Noah smiled faintly. He had never thought of himself as dangerous. He had only wanted to survive to live. But now he understood. Humans' greatest strength was their courage, intelligence, and adaptability. Days passed in the colony as they repaired the cutter and planned their next steps. Noah explored the ruins, examining old equipment and learning from what remained. Mira watched him, impressed by his curiosity and careful observation. He had grown not just in skill but in confidence. He was no longer the hunted. He was a force to be reckoned with. One evening, Mira spoke quietly. "Noah, I have a proposition. You have proven yourself capable. You could leave this sector, start fresh somewhere else, or you could continue to work with me. There are others like the factions who would misuse technology, threaten colonies, and spread chaos. Together we could stop them." Noah considered her words. Freedom was tempting. He had been hunted, threatened, and tested. Yet for the first time he felt that he had a purpose greater than survival. Protecting others, using his skills to prevent harm, was something he wanted. "I will continue," he said finally. "Not for rewards, but because it matters. There are people who cannot defend themselves. I can help." Mira studied him. A faint smile crossed her face. "I thought you would say that. That is why I spared your life and brought you along. Humans have courage, stubbornness, and a way of seeing possibilities others cannot. You embody all of that." The following days passed with training and preparation. Mira taught Noah advanced navigation, combat strategies, and survival tactics. He absorbed everything with determination. Each skill added to his ability to protect himself and others. But beyond skills, he learned patience, observation, and the power of careful thinking. Then the first real test arrived. Patrol ships from the factions appeared near the sector, their sensors active and weapons ready. Mira piloted the cutter with precision, weaving through asteroids while Noah monitored the sensors. He predicted the patrol's paths and suggested maneuvers. Each decision was critical. Failure could mean capture or death. They outmaneuvered the patrols, using human intuition and unpredictability to escape detection. Mira glanced at Noah. "You see, humans do not only survive. You think in ways that machines and aliens cannot anticipate. That is why we succeed." Noah felt a surge of pride. Every step of their journey had tested him. He had faced impossible odds, neutralized a device that could destroy lives, and survived factions who wanted him dead. Now he realized that humans were powerful not because of strength alone, but because of courage, intelligence, and care. As they moved further from the sector, Mira spoke of the future. "The galaxy underestimates humans. That is changing. Others will see your actions and understand that humans are capable of more than they think. You are proof of that." Noah looked out at the stars, feeling a deep sense of purpose. He had survived. He had helped protect countless lives, and he knew that this was only the beginning. Humans could stand against any challenge, adapt to any danger, and make choices that shaped the future. Mira placed a hand on the console. "We have more missions ahead. Others will try to misuse technology to hurt the innocent. Together we can stop them. You will continue to prove that humans are not to be underestimated." Noah nodded. "I understand, and I am ready." The stars stretched endlessly before them, silent witnesses to human courage, ingenuity, and determination. Noah realized that the galaxy had changed in subtle ways because of their actions. The factions who had hunted him would reconsider their assumptions. Other colonies would recognize the value of humans. And humanity, underestimated for so long, had begun to show its strength. In the quiet of the cutter, Noah allowed himself a small smile. He had survived impossible odds, outsmarted enemies, and prevented disaster. But more importantly, he had proven that humans could rise to meet challenges in ways others could not imagine. Mira glanced at him, her expression softening. "You have done more than survive, Noah. You have shown what it means to be human. Courage, intelligence, care. That is why the galaxy will remember you even if they do not know your name." Noah felt the weight of her words. He had started this journey as a hunted human, tied and powerless. Now he was a protector, a force for good, and a symbol of what humans could accomplish when underestimated. Together, they set course for new missions. The galaxy was vast, filled with danger, opportunity, and uncertainty. Yet Noah no longer feared it. He knew that humans, though often overlooked, could shape events, protect lives, and stand strong against impossible odds. And so, as the cutter glided through the silent stars, Noah and Mira moved forward, not as hunter and prey but as partners, allies, and witnesses to the power of human courage. The galaxy would soon learn that humans, though underestimated, were capable of extraordinary feats, and Noah would continue to prove it. One choice, one act of courage, and one moment of intuition at a time. The stars shone brightly as they traveled deeper into space, and for the first time Noah felt that he belonged not just in survival, but in shaping the future. Humans had been underestimated for too long. Now they were ready to stand tall. Noah looked at Mira. She met his gaze, a rare smile touching her face. "The journey continues," she said. "Yes," Noah replied, voice steady. "And humans will be ready." The cutter accelerated into the unknown, carrying 2 allies and the promise that courage, intelligence, and care could change the galaxy forever. Humanity had shown its strength, and this was only the beginning.